Welcome back, everybody. Today's video, as you could see from the title, is a discussion that we want to take part of.
Yeah.
Ever since Jalen Hurts won his ring, I feel like that it's created kind of a split.
Yeah.
Where there's one half of people that believe that Jalen Hurts is an elite quarterback, and the other half that still believe that he is not an elite quarterback.
Yeah.
And so we're just here to kind of talk about that debate and to see where we stand, kind of break it down and figure out where Jalen Hurts falls in the QB tier list.
Yep. Let's get it. So, Ralph, is Jalen Hurts elite to you?
That's the point of this video, right?
Okay, so let's break it down to why we think he is elite, right?
Okay.
Number one, he just got a Super Bowl. He beat Patrick Mahomes and got his ring. He's been to the Super Bowl 2 out of the last 3 seasons. That shout out to him. That's good for him. But at the end of the day, is it him? Is he the reason the Eagles made it? Is he the one putting up the numbers, putting up the stats, or is it just this Eagles collective as a whole?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So that's where I break it down. That's where I see. I'm like, okay, yeah, you got your accolades. You got what everybody dreams of, the Super Bowl ring, the Lombardi trophy.
I like your point. He's been to the Super Bowl already twice in the last 3 years. Mm-hmm. He has a ring now. And then another important stat is he is one of, now 2, right? So he is another active QB that has beat Patrick Mahomes in the postseason. First, it was only one, which was Joey B. And this makes him. So those are cases of why people consider him elite.
Yeah,
he's brought a franchise up to the Super Bowl.
Yeah, twice. Yeah,
twice, or maybe it wasn't him. Now, some cases where people argue he's not elite. He's never had an MVP season.
Yep.
He is not the sole reason that the Eagles were at the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
I think it was a collective effort. The team itself is a juggernaut.
Fucking juggernaut.
Obviously having Jalen Hurts as QB helps, but he isn't a game changer.
Yeah. He's a system quarterback. What's the word?
Maybe just above a
game manager.
Game manager, right?
Manager.
Because like you said, you put some of these other quarterbacks like Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson, Joe Burrow in the Eagles, and it's a complete, the Eagles are a new dynasty or something.
Yep.
You know what I mean? So those are cases of where people think he's not elite. Yeah. And I think both are really, really fair. But in my opinion, and what I think I'm going to argue for is that he still falls short of an elite quarterback.
Yeah, he's still a good quarterback. Sorry.
That doesn't make him a bad quarterback. That doesn't even make him a good quarterback. I think he's a great quarterback, but I don't think he is an elite quarterback. He hasn't had an MVP season, and he is not the sole reason that this Eagles team went to the championship or won the whole game.
And we know this team, from what we've seen, they've paid their guys, right? Everyone has their money. Everyone got their bag. And I saw somewhere like, is that the key to winning Super Bowls? Do you pay your guys? Do you pay your team? Do you, put the money out there to get the guys that you need, the missing pieces? Like, yeah, obviously that's end goal of any team, any coach, any GM. You want to pay to have the perfect pieces.
Right.
We talk about the Bengals during the season that they're cheap asses, right? The owner doesn't want to, spend. We got the best receiver in the game, Jamar Chase. Pay the man. Pay the guy. Pay T. Higgins. Everybody wants him.
Take it out of my paycheck.
Take it out. That's,
out of my paycheck. I will pay. I'll put it a little bit.
And that's what the Eagles did. They paid Saquon. They paid A.J. Brown. Devonta Smith's going to get a nice bag. Jalen Hurts got paid. The key players on this team got paid.
Mm-hmm.
But now I see as a thing with this team is built all around, right? You could put anyone on this team, and this team's going to be successful. As long as it's obviously a quarterback with, the qualities of being a good quarterback. You could put Jared Goff in there. You could put Josh Allen. That's finally good as rings. You could put Joey B on that team. He's an MVP season, Super Bowl MVP. You put Patrick Mahomes on this team. They're gonna win. They're gonna win consecutively, consistently, because this team is built so well. Now, my argument is with that: can you put Jalen Hurts on any other team, and are they gonna win and go as far as he did with the Eagles?
Probably not.
You know, you put him on the Bears with the. I always bring the Bears up,
Bro, choose the Panthers.
You put him on the. Okay, let's go back. You put him. You know, you take Jalen.
The Bears are the fall guy, bro. Always the Bears.
So you take Jalen Hurts, right? You put him on the Panthers, the Cardinals, the Saints of this season. Are they going to go far? Are they going to win? You know, I don't see it.
Well, I mean, that they're probably not going to go far, but again, a good football team needs more than just a quarterback.
Exactly.
Right? They need at least a competent offense, a decent defense, you know what I mean? But the difference with the Eagles is they don't have a decent anything. They have a fantastic
juggernauts on both sides.
A fantastic squad. Another thing I think is I don't think people are talking about this, but you know, they were talking about I don't see why Justin Fields or any similar quarterback to Jalen Hurts can't have a career like Jalen Hurts. I see Brock Purdy. I see Brock Purdy as more similar to Jalen Hurts than let's say like a Justin Fields.
Yeah.
Because it's the same argument that we're having right now. Last year, people were saying Brock Purdy's not elite. Right now, people are saying
talk about that. Yeah.
People are we going to pay? Are the 49ers going to pay Brock Purdy? Is it worth to pay Brock Purdy, especially knowing that kind of their roster is slowly dying?
Yeah.
You know, you give Brock Purdy that amazing team for a few years and develop under that amazing team, he'll have a similar career to Jalen Hurts.
Yeah, it's funny. I remember everyone was talking crap about it. Like, bro, the 49ers are only so good, but Brock Purdy ain't shit because, you know, he's got all the right pieces. That's the Eagles right now. But nobody's saying, oh, Jalen Hurts has all the right pieces around him. Like, no. How is that fair?
Exactly.
It's a rookie quarterback in his sophomore season. Well, he was a rookie then. Sophomore season. And he's putting up good numbers. They got to the Super Bowl, you know, against the Chiefs. And everyone's like, oh, he has McCaffrey, Ayuk, Debo, Kittle. Like, this team, that. And it's like, it's the same situation.
Mm-hmm.
But because he thrived and he looked really good with this offense, everyone was, you know, talking shit about it.
Right,
it's
right.
Like, why is that different?
I think one thing, I guess, probably to support their argument is the 49ers have a better coaching staff. I mean, well, they have a better head coach than the Eagles. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I guess that can add to something. But no, I do agree. I do see that kind of, that I see that perspective.
Yeah. Because if you think about it, then I think it was the next season. No. It was during the regular season. The 49ers and the Eagles played, and the 49ers absolutely murdered the Eagles. I think it was a blowout game. Let me double check. I saw it the other day, but
that was what you said. What season? Sorry. Previous season.
Previous, and not this one because they were
yeah. Well, you know, the Eagles had a rough last season.
That is true.
They did have a rough last season. Brock Purdy had this really good 49ers team for I think 2 years.
Yeah.
The first time, unfortunately, he got injured. Do you think if he never got injured, he probably would have made it to the bowl that season?
I think they really could have had a better chance. I remember I watched that game live. I was in Kansas City going to the Bengals and Chiefs AFC Championship.
Yeah.
You know, and I was looking at the game, and Brock Purdy did show some nerves that game. I could see it's his first year. He's a rookie.
Yeah.
You know, he just went on an 8-0 streak. Like, what Mr. Irrelevant does that shit?
Right.
You know, so I could see that he could have maybe fell a little short. Just thinking about it, I think he could have at least given this team a better chance because the Eagles weren't the Eagles that they are now, right? They were still improving Eagles team, but I think he could have took them down that season.
Yeah,
it would have been a Chiefs or Niners again before the next one.
You know? Right. So, Brock Purdy had this team. Unfortunately, he couldn't finish it with the team the first time. The second time, took them all the way to the bowl.
Yeah,
and unfortunately, this year it's falling apart.
Yeah, and it's crazy to think that season, after they fell short, they played the Eagles during the regular season, and they smacked them 42-19. The 49ers were 9-3, and the Eagles were 10-2. So this was before their fall off. This was when it started when they fell off. Brock Purdy threw for 314 yards, 4 touchdowns.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like Brock Purdy looked good that game, just to show you that again, he had the right pieces around him. Same scenario as the Eagles. But he just got so much hate on there, so much backlash on it. It just made no sense. It makes no sense to me.
Right. So you don't think Brock Purdy is elite?
I think he's still too young. I think he still has time to grow, and this is his third season. You know, he still has a lot to learn. And obviously this season they got too many injuries. It was just way too many.
Do you think Jalen Hurts is elite then? Because I think they're around the same.
They have similar qualities, and they're in similar situations, or at least they were, because obviously the 49ers just fell off. So I don't know. I personally do not think Jalen Hurts is an elite quarterback. That's my take on it. He is.
But that's how could you say he's not elite, but still give time to Brock Purdy?
I'm not saying he's elite yet. Brock Purdy.
So he can become elite.
Yeah, Brock Purdy can become elite.
Can Jalen Hurts become elite?
He can become elite. He still has opportunity. He still has a time frame. He's only 26, bro. He's young.
He is.
So he's not elite just yet. He still has time to prove himself. And he could be elite. He can work on his arm, work on his, reading defenses. He can work on his, his whole thing.
Mm-hmm.
There's going to be seasons where the team just downfalls. There's injuries on the O-line. Let's say injuries, maybe Saquon gets injured. Who knows? Yeah. Stuff like that can happen. And now he's got to really test himself and try to show where he's elite.
That's the thing. Yeah, Jalen Hurts has already had that struggle.
That is true.
Last year, they kind of lost their lead,
and he was an elite.
He was. But I think it was tough for the Eagle fans, but I think they did handle it well, because obviously the next season they ended up coming back.
Yeah,
so they have a good turnaround rate.
Yeah,
in that they can face adversity.
Yeah,
and so I think that's what really. I think maybe that's why people think Jalen Hurts is kind of that. He has an elite quarterback mindset.
Yeah.
He has a great mindset. And I think he moves differently than most quarterbacks, and it really, really helps him. But if we're talking like pure quarterback talent, like, yards or having that MVP season, sure, he doesn't have it. But
yeah. Again, only with due time. I mean, obviously we're basing it off on his last few seasons that we've seen him play.
Right.
But
I think it's enough.
He still has time to really. He could be elite.
Should be enough. Right now, I don't think Jalen Hurts. I'm gonna get a lot of fire back. Yeah, I'm gonna say that he himself is not an elite quarterback.
Himself, he's not elite. With the Eagles team and the Eagles everything, makes him look elite. Makes him stand out. Of course, you won a Super Bowl. Congratulations. But
I say that for Brock Purdy as well.
Yeah,
I don't think he is elite.
Yeah, he's not elite as of now. He's not elite. He's a great quarterback, but he's not elite.
Mm-hmm.
You can't put Brock Purdy again on the other teams, and he's going to change the game for them. He's going to be in there and kind of just game or manage the game.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of try to do what he does best. Get in there, but he is not going to change another team. As in, to me, Jalen Hurts is not going to change another team. Put him on the Eagles, he's not going to do crazy shit.
Mm-hmm.
Put him on the Eagles. Put him on the Dolphins. He's not going to flip the Dolphins to beat the Bills right away.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Stuff like that. I feel like it's just. It's going to be just, back and forth. So let us know what you guys think in the comments.
Exactly.
Do you guys think Jalen Hurts is elite? If you do, why? If you don't, why? If you agree with us, obviously we're going to have a lot of hate on us. We're going to have a lot of disagreements. We're not saying he's a bad quarterback. We're just saying he's not, I wouldn't put him above Josh Allen, Patrick Mahomes, Joe Burrow, Lamar Jackson as far as players of the game. Yeah, he's above them with the ring, obviously, besides Mahomes, but I think he still has worked. He still has a lot more to prove as a player. The best game he's ever had was this Super Bowl.
Yeah, he had a good game against the Chiefs in the first time.
That's true.
Time
Yeah,
he had a great game.
That is true. Fuck.
I don't think. See, that's what makes this discussion so interesting.
That's why I wanted to talk. Yeah, that's why I brought it up. I want to just kind of get our opinions on it.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't think he has anything else to prove. Personally, I don't think he has the skill. Oh, I'm gonna get.
What's gonna make him elite if he goes and wins 3 more rings? Get up there, bro. Beat the guys who only were able to get 2 rings, 1 ring. Don't be.
But I mean, ring, he has to. You're telling me that he has to make those rings with a bad team to be elite?
No. I'm saying go out there and be the reason your team continues to go off. But okay, let's say next season he puts up MVP numbers, goes to the Super Bowl again. That I feel like gives them brownie points too.
Okay, this is a discussion. Yeah, what are you looking for Jalen Hurts to be elite?
To put up an MVP season is not my number one. Put up numbers like Joe Burrow did this past season, or back then when Tom Brady was putting up 50 touchdowns, 5,000 yards. Yeah, the game has changed. We can't forget that the game has changed. It's a rushing game now compared to what it was. A bunch of pocket passers. It's a rushing game. It's it's different now. I get that, but it can still be done. You can still throw for an average of 250 a game, a couple touchdowns a game. That's what I want to see personally. Looking at Joe Burrow, yeah, we had the shittiest defense, but he still put up MVP numbers.
Okay, that's
know?
fair. Because at least all these other elite guys have had MVP seasons, right?
Yeah, they've had they've had MVP seasons. They prove it. Comeback player of the year, Joe Burrow, obviously coming from an injury. Josh Allen, who finally got his MVP season. Lamar with a 2-time MVP season the last 2 years. So that to me makes those players elite. Because they are the reason their team is so successful. So that's kind of why I'm on the he's good. He's not a bad quarterback at all, but to me he's not. He's not up there.
I agree with that. I think that's fair. I think that's fair to ask for him.
Because realistically, him and Matthew Stafford have the same amount of rings, and I think Matthew Stafford's better than him. I think he's elite. I think Matt Stafford is elite.
Yeah, he's staying with the Rams.
I heard
he is staying with the Rams.
Yeah, that's crazy.
That's crazy, man. Tom Brady can't get anybody. But that's the discussion, guys. Thank you so much for listening and sticking around. I know it's a bit of a controversial topic, just because there's so much split on it. So let us know what you guys think. Maybe we're completely wrong, which is okay. Or you guys agree with some of the points that we brought up. But just let us know in the comments. And thanks for watching.
Yep. See you guys next episode. Don't forget, put the game on.
Put the game on.